Hi everybody, this is Marlene with Dixie Quilters, and we are grinding out another block today. I'm going to finish up the Civil War blocks today. So I have 4, maybe 5 that I've completed now, and I wanted to tell you about them. I did a duplicate on the comfort quilt because that's meaningful to me. The quilts were called comforts, and ladies made them to help with the injured and the wounded in the hospitals. And I think they also, this is the comfort quilt pattern right here, the upper one right here. And I used a variety of blues and some beiges from Kansas Trouble blocks or fabrics. And most of these are the reproduction fabrics from Marcus. Now the comfort block, oh, remember this one? We did this one before, and it's the specifications for women who wanted to work as nurses. They had to be over 30. It doesn't say ugly, but I think that might have been a part of it. And they need to serve, they're required to be plain looking. That's where I got the ugly part from. And their dresses must be brown or black with no bows, curls, jewelry, or hoop skirts. So I wonder how they got enough nurses with people willing to identify themselves as those things. Well, anyway, they needed a lot of nurses just like they do today. And so here is the comfort block. Okay, so the next one we did was one of the newer ones, the Carolina Lily, and it required quite a few Y seams. And so this is the one that I did. Again, I used a lot of the Kansas Trouble fabric. This is Kansas Trouble, that's Kansas Trouble. This is Marcus, and this is something I got at Soft Squares in a box for a Little Red Riding Hood quilt quite a while ago. But I think it turned out really well. These are, this is a Y seam right here, and right here, and right there. All of those are Y seams that you have to, you draw your margins on your 1/4 inch seams, and when you're coming this way with one and this way, and then where those intersect, that's where your line of stitching has to start and stop as you turn the corners and go around. And if you draw them on there, you can, they came out okay. Look at that. There's a little pucker up at this one, but it's lined up. Just need to starch it a little more. So that is the Carolina Lily. What it says here, out of the Charleston, the heart of the Confederacy suffered badly. There's a photo here showing that the buildings are just shells left. And this is a story from Emma Holmes, who was 23 years old when the war started, so that would be already an old maid. She's one of 11 children of a widow in South Carolina. She made notes that there were women gathering for the Volunteer Aid Society, and 192 women were there, and there were 12 managers who cut out the work and then handed it to the people to sew them together in the manner they wanted them. And this is another group for the Ladies Society for Clothing the Troops in Active Service. 2,301 flannel shirts and drawers have been completed. Isn't that amazing? That's wonderful. And she says, of the 11 ladies gathered, 8 were knitting stockings, and grandmother showed us a pair of slippers that someone had sent her from London early when she was married, because in those days it was fashionable to make your own shoes that you would wear inside the house. So that's the Carolina Lily. Its single bloom can symbolize the botanical Carolina lily, a wildflower similar to a tiger lily that grows in the Carolinas. This block was identified in 1909 by the Ladies' Home Journal. And this is from Barbara Brackman, Civil War Sampler, published by C&T Publishing, and it was published in 2012. Copyright 2012 by Barbara Brackman. And she currently has a new big encyclopedia of historical blocks. It is available from Fat Quarter Shop as of a month ago. Now the next block we're going to talk about is we're going to skip over the Confederate rose because we already did that. And we're going to go to the red, white, and blue star, which has a template in the back of the book. And so this is the one we did for the red and white star. Red, white, and blue star. And these are little templates for these. And you have to piece them together with Y seams with each of these pieces. Now, I suppose you could cut it out in one piece and just sew it on or turn applique it on or something. I turned them all under, glued the tips, and then sewed it down with a single stitch of top stitching. So that's what I did. It's not, I don't think that's what they wanted you to do because they give you measurements to create these little odd-shaped blocks. And they would all have Y seams. So I just sort of got tired of Y seams and appliqued it on there, sewed it on. Now this one, the red, white, and blue star, is referring to, let's see, Rebel Mary Chestnut wrote in the war's first summer that this was a patriotic pieced star, and it was first published in the red, white, and blue colorway in the agricultural magazine Orange Judd Farmer in 1898. So that's a really old block, according to, comparatively to all the rest of these who are pretty much 1930s, 1920s. Interesting, huh? So, patriotic Yankees and rebels alike wore the red, white, and blue colors in everything from hat ribbons and suspenders down to handmade socks. So both sides used red, white, and blue as their colors. I thought one was gray and one was blue, but maybe that was their uniforms were predominantly gray in the South. Oh well, anyway, so that was a reference from Van Woodward, editor, Mary Chestnut Civil War, New Haven, Yale University Press, 1993. Now here is an applique star. Now we appliqued this one, but here's another one, and it's called Stars and Stripes. Very simplistic. There's a template for the star shape in the back. This had a template for individual pieces that were pieced together. And this was a one-piece star. Now when it came to those corners, I used some fabric glue and my forceps, and I got the tips to lay down and then fold in. That was sort of hard to make it look nice. They do look a little squirrely, but they're glued on there, so it should stay. And this is in reference to this, let's see. In 1861, Peterson's magazine published a color sketch of the Stars and Stripes bed quilt, earliest color quilt pattern yet found in an American periodical. So that was 1861. The original pattern, inspiring this one, called for 34 stars in a blue field floating on red and white stripes. So it'll show you, here's this one. But the examples done by people for Barbara Brackman was these. And the reference on this is Love Amid Turmoil, the Civil War Letters of William and Mary Vermillion, 2003. So that's the Stars and Stripes. Now, did we talk about all four of them? Yes, we did. The only other one that I did not make is this one. I didn't like the looks of it. And it's talking about the hickory leaf or the reel. Although this applique pattern does date back to the 1830s, it was given a new name in 1929 when the Kansas City Star pattern columnist Ruby Short McKim published a story of order number 11. And that's referencing order number 11, which was something to do with martial law during the Civil War. Anyway, so I think that gives us 50 blocks. If it doesn't, I might be one short. So I made another twin sister just in case. And I like this giant pinwheel, and I like how it goes together. So we should have a complete 50 right now. And so now I can start thinking about how I'm going to sash them. I'd like to put them on point. Where's the one on point? Here, this is on point. Whereas this one is just straight up, side to side, rows. I like this on point look. But there's no directions in this book on how to fix the corners or fix the additional half triangles that need to fill in the, when you do on an angle. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and look at what So Blessed by Jess did and how did she go ahead and sash it. It seems to me that she sashed it with a triple row of less than an inch of, like two blues and a white row down the middle, and then cornerstones of something. So it does, see here it shows a 9 patch as the cornerstones and a triple dark in the middle and lights on the outside, I think it is. Let me look. Dark in the middle, lights on the outside, and scrappy. I don't like scrappy like that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I have to come up with something here in another month or two. But I think we've got 50 blocks, and so I can actually think about calling this a tentative, at least the blocks are done. Okay, so there we are for the Civil War sampler, and here's the most recent ones. Let's review the names of them. This is the Tiger Lily, Carolina Lily. This is the Comfort, meaning a blanket or a comforter. This one is, I want to say Stars and Stripes. Let's look that up again. Stars and Stripes. This is Star and Stripes. And then the one with the pieced star is Red, White, and Blue. Did you see that real nice and up and close? This is pieced. It's 5 pieces that are sewn together with Y seams in the middle. Yeah, that's pretty hard, actually. Okay, call that a wrap. Thank you for being with me this evening. I think that's enough for today, don't you? I think it's time for TV watching. All right, well, good night then, and have a good day tomorrow. Bye-bye.